Hello everyone. Welcome to class 10 of CM1. I'm Pratap from Smears Education Solutions. We'll discuss force of interest in today's class. We'll have a look at how money grows in different interest rates. Suppose 15% is the interest rate for 1 year. If you deposit 10,000, it will grow to 11,500 in 1 year. However, if I2 is given 15%, the rate of interest per annum convertible every half year, that means your money will be compounded twice at the rate of 15% per annum convertible half yearly or 7.5% half year interest rate. Your money will grow to 11,556.25. You are getting more here. If interest rate is 15% per annum convertible quarterly, you deposit the same amount, you end up getting 11,586.50 in 1 year. Now the interest rate is 15% per annum convertible monthly. In that case, your money will grow to 11,607.55. Here, the interest rate is 15% per annum convertible monthly. In that case, your money will grow to 11,617.90. Compounding daily, that means your money will be compounded 365 times in a year. Here monthly compounding, quarterly, half yearly, yearly. So starting from yearly, we came to every day. Now come to this one. This is what we discussed in the last class. Delta is 15%. This is continuously compounding. Rate is 15% nominal. Your money is continuously compounded. I can say here how many times your money will be compounded. It's infinite actually. In that case, you are getting 11,618.34. You can compare this one and this one. If your money is compounded 365 times in a year, at the end of the year, your amount is 11,617. Here 11,618. It's very close. Even you go to limits, we have a formula. The limiting value of this is e power this one 0.15. Here this is the amount we get, and delta is force of interest, constant force of interest. Now we'll try to differentiate between constant force of interest and force of interest. If you invest money here, and the number of years is given, n years, 1 will grow to e power 0 to n delta t dt. Here delta t is the force of interest. Now if you want to find constant force of interest, we'll use the same formula. The only difference is here delta is constant. You just replace delta t by delta. If you write delta here, delta, then it will be delta dt. You can take common, the constant, you can take it out and integrate dt, you get t, then replace it, you get e power n delta. This is what we have seen before. If you invest money for n years with continuously compounding, your accumulated value is e power n delta. This is constant force of interest. We already studied this one. This is force of interest. If you want to know the difference between delta and delta t, it's constant. At a constant interest, money will grow here. It's not variable. Whatever interest rate is given, at a constant interest rate, it will grow from 0 to n. However, here the interest rate is a variable one. It will vary from time to time. Suppose here 5%, here 2%, here 3%, here 8%. It's different at different times. You can compare with the velocity. Suppose someone is driving from here to here. The speed is not constant. The velocity is not constant. You have traffic on road. You have a whole lot of things. So when you travel from 0 to n, you travel at different velocity at different time. However, if you travel with a constant velocity, you get this way. I will explain with one example rather. This is the example. Force of interest is given here. The first one. And if you see the second one, here delta is given, constant force of interest. You need to deposit for 8 years. If you deposit for 8 years, how much you will get at the end? So let's draw diagram for this. Let me draw the diagram for the first one. The interest rate is given in terms of delta t. This is the force of interest. Now you take time 0. If you put t0 here, you will be able to know what is the interest rate at time 0. If you put 0, this is 0.02. Interest rate is 0.02. You write 1 here, you will be able to know the interest rate at time 1. If you put t1 here, I can write delta 1 here, delta 0 here. If you put t1, you get delta 1. That is 0.02 plus 0.01 into 1. So you can add these two, that is 0.03, 3% here. So the interest rate acting is 3% here. It's not same. Here also let me write in terms of percent, 2%. So it increased from 2 to 3% in 1 year. That means your money will grow at 3% here. Now go to 2. You find delta 2. You put 2 here, another 2%, 2 plus 2, 4%, 0.04. So the interest rate is increasing in this example. If I replace plus by minus, here I write minus, then this will decrease. If I write a different function, you will have a different delta t. This is force of interest. This will vary from time to time. And you have to know whether it's increasing or decreasing, whatever way it is. You have to use the formula to find the final accumulated value. At time 3, you put 3 here, you get 5%. At the end of the period, that is 8, it will be delta 8. You put 8 here, 8 plus 2, 10%. Now the interest rate for you was 2% initially. It increased to 3% in 1 year, 4% in 2 years, 5% in 3 years, 10% in 8 years. Not only that, it's continuous. You can find delta half also. If you see here, it's 2.5%. Not only that, you can find here delta 1 by 4. This is 2.25%. It's increasing continuously, not discretely. From each point, from this point, to this point, from this point to this point, at every point it's increasing. It's changing, we can say. In this particular example, it's increasing. It's changing from point to point. However, if you see part 2, this is constant, 6%. Where you get more? Here 6%, here 6%, 8 years. Here 6%, here 6%. If you compare time 0, this is better, 6% is better than 2%. If you compare time 3, here it's 5%, this is better 6%. However, if you compare a time 8, it's 10% here, it's 6% here, this is better. Here 6% at each point, though measurable in a year, there is nothing called instant interest rate. Instant interest rate here is 6% measured annually. That way, everything that way you can decide. Now we'll see the accumulated value in both the cases. Let me erase all. We'll apply formula. It's simple integration. So if you are using this one, 0, 8 here, 1000 is the amount. It will grow to 1000 e power integration 0 to 8 years delta t dt, and that will be equal to e power 0 to 8 delta t 0.02 plus 0.01 t dt. Remember one thing, we are not integrating e, we are integrating only the power. So if you integrate the power, here it will be 0.02 t plus 0.01 t square upon 2, and the limits are 0 to 8. You put 8 here and then 0 here, you subtract, then you will get e power 0.48. And that is 1616.07. I left 1000 here. So we got 1616.07. Now let's do part 2. In part 2, you need to just apply e power 8 delta, 1000 here, it grows to 1000 e power 8 delta, that is 1000 e power 8 into delta 0.06 Surprisingly, you will get the same result, but not always. This is kind of average interest rate. We get the same result because we got 0.48 in both the cases. Let me write the formula once again. If you deposit some amount here, it will grow to e power integration delta t dt, where delta t is the force of interest. You need to write the limits. Zero here and here. If you want, you can write any two numbers here. Suppose I write A and B. You want to invest from 3 to 5. You deposit A will grow to e power 0 to n delta t dt. Here A to B. You can find present value as well. Suppose you like to find the discounted value. It will be minus 0 to n. Here the points are A and B. Discounted value minus A to B delta t dt. Let's do a problem. Here delta t is given. The rate of interest is 0.05, continuously compounding. And it's a variable. This is the force of interest. But you have a constant force of interest after time 5. This is t is greater than 5. T less than or equal to 5 here. Question is, calculate the present value of 1000 due end of 12 years. That means you have to find the present value of 1000. This is what you need to find. 0, 12 here, 1000 is due. You find the discounted value. V power 12 we write normally, but we'll find this here. Suppose A is the discounted value, then A will be equal to 1000 e power. We have 12 here is here, so I have to write 0 to 12. delta t dt. Now delta t is not the same. This is 0.15 after t is greater than 5. So we have to do that way. E power minus 0 to 5 you have to write. You divide this into two parts, 0 to 5 minus 5 to 12. Then this will be 1000 into, because we have a formula, e power a plus b is e power a, e power b. Though saying power is also incorrect, this is e only. Anyway, e minus 0 to 5, here delta t dt, then e 5 to 12 delta t dt. You have to find separately. Suppose one is m here, one is n here, we'll find and we'll multiply. Let's find m now. We'll find m and n separately. E power minus 0 to 5, delta is given 0.02. If you integrate this one, you get 0.05t plus 0.02 t square upon 2, minus is there. So I'm changing the limits. Instead of writing a minus, and you put 0 here, this will be 0. Then you put 5 here, e power minus 0.05. Here 25 by 2, again 5, plus 5 into 0.02. And if you see, this is 7%, 0.07. 0.07, if you take 5 common, that will be 0.60. Sorry, there is a problem here. Okay. 25 by 2, let me write. That will be e power minus 0.5. You can check it. Now let's find n here. 0 to 5. Now after 5, 5 to 10, this we can write dt. Even delta t is constant, 0.15. This is delta, 0.15 dt. Even you don't need to write integration sign. Directly we can apply the formula. That will be minus 5 into 0.15 e power n delta. Because we are finding discounting value, it will be e power minus n delta. If you put 5 to 10, 10 minus 5, that is 5. Okay. Actually, I took 10, it's 12. Okay. So change it to 12. 7 here. And if you use a calculator, you will get it 0.34, 0.34994. So if you put all these here, use a calculator, the final answer will be m multiplied by n. And then we have 1000 as well. Let me write 1000. Here we get the final answer. Check it. It will be 212.25. 212.25. Because we are finding present value here. 0, 12, 212,000 present value, 212.25. That means if you deposit this amount with this interest rate, with this force of interest, it will grow to 1000. Even in some questions, they will ask find the effective interest rate. So now you know initial amount, final amount. You can apply the formula 212.25 into 1 plus I power 12, that is 1000. Then you can get corresponding I also. From I, you can find D, D12, I12, those kind of questions you might get. This much for today's class. Please like and share if you understood the concepts, and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest content. Thank you.